Hello everyone, welcome to this video on my channel. Hope you're all doing good, hope you're all doing well. Wales have qualified for the World Cup for the first time since 1958. And I'm just going to give you my thoughts ahead of this game, seeing as I watched it and that Wales have joined England in the World Cup group. And the same one that is. I'd say, when you look at the start of the game, Ukraine did look the better. They were putting some more pressure on Wales. I went into this game thinking it was going to be close, and it was close. I was thinking probably a draw or and then penalties, probably. But for the game itself, I thought Ukraine did start out relatively okay. Wales, as the game grew on after 10 minutes, were taking the ball to the opposition right into their half. I think that it looked okay. I'd say the first half probably didn't have as much quality as, say, the second half did. Let's start with the biggest talking point, the goal itself. It came from a left-sided free kick from Gareth Bale. I didn't think he would score, but he scored from unexpected ranges before. But the angle looked not really a bendable one to the left-hand side. So Gareth Bale put the free kick into the box. Andrei Yarmolenko, unfortunately for him, headed it into the back of his own net. You could see what he was trying to do in the sense of heading it out for a corner or away from the penalty area. It's unfortunate for him. He went for the header and it ended up going in. Though he wasn't marking anybody, so it's just one of them, really. Another big talking point was the penalty incidents, the fact it wasn't given. It's a bit of a tricky one because Joe Allen does catch Yarmolenko and doesn't get any of the ball. But at the same time, he doesn't see him when he's trying to get the ball. But then when you look at the fact that Yarmolenko got in front of him before Joe Allen raised his leg, then yeah, I do think that was a penalty. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that Ukraine would have scored or they would have got something out of that game. Wales could have still scored another. We don't know. In the same way, we can't say that a goal that came from a penalty that probably shouldn't have been given is the reason why a team lost. But that aside, when the second half came, it was looking more likely that Ukraine were going to get an equaliser. It was one of them that was very unpredictable. You weren't sure if it was going to stay as it is. Ukraine were going to score. Wales were going to kill the game off. It was tense, close, whatever you could say. And I'd say Ukraine did create some good opportunities. Tested Wayne Hennessy, the goalkeeper, a few times. Came close on an occasion. They had some close range efforts that they probably should have done better with. Most notably was that save right near the goal line by Wayne Hennessy to keep it at 1-0. And for Wales, they did have some good opportunities of themselves. Had tested Bouchan in goal. Hit the outside of the post as well. Aaron Ramsey could have done better with when Kiefer Moore squared the ball to him. I would say overall it was a good game, unpredictable. Wales probably about out-deserved it. Ukraine, in terms of who was better creatively, did it, but Wales found a way to win. And they're the ones going into Qatar. And I guess from an England perspective, if they are to win their first two games against Iran and the USA, then I expect them to play a second team against Wales, which I still think would be better than what Wales would put out. What do I think for Wales? Well, I'm not going to go too detailed in my prediction as of yet because I've got something in mind once the Interconfederational playoffs come in, have qualified. But I think Wales can certainly make a good go of trying to get to the knockout stages of the World Cup. USA, Iran, good opponents. It could be fairly unpredictable. I probably wouldn't necessarily pick Wales to advance. But if I look at the other three teams and go by what how many points they could pick up, it could be Wales, but I don't fancy them overall. But these were my thoughts from the game and what could go forward. Let me know what you think of the game and how far do you think Wales will go come the World Cup. But the road to 2022 is almost complete.